Karen.
And Ruth. Hello.
Hello and happy Saturday.
Oh, and it's warm.
Yeah, it's lovely. In fact, it was lovely yesterday, so I took the opportunity to spend it in Mama's garden.
How fabulous.
Yes, and tidied up the front garden for her, so there's lovely.
Yeah. I did nothing, so that was even lovelier. It was me rheumatics. It's not really.
You stayed on the couch, didn't you?
No, I moved a bit.
To the kitchen?
A bit, yeah. Hey, didn't I cook?
You know you're getting like, don't you?
Oh, no, not medal. Oh, God.
Couch to kitchen in 5 steps.
Oh, no, yeah, but at least I'm not out of breath.
No, that's true.
Didn't I cook yesterday? You had... chilli.
Yeah, I had chilli. You cooked the day before.
Chilli and potato wedges.
It was delish. Anyway,
that's not why we're here.
No, it's not why we're here, because following our last Kay's cooking video...
Which went viral.
Viral! Stormed the internet.
Knocked Nikocado Avocado right off the top place.
Yeah. Anyway, we came across this other one of Kay's, and it's a dish that I make quite exceptionally well.
Very well.
And it is, in fact, corned beef hash.
It's a very British thing. No, it's not a British thing. The Americans do eat it, but they do a different form of corned beef hash.
Well, that form of corned beef hash is available in the UK as well, like the dry
form is what I was brought up
I think, correct us if we're wrong, but I think the American form of corned beef hash, it's everything sort of mixed together, isn't it? It's like a mosh-up of stuff, cubed potatoes and... cubes of corned beef and...
It's not moshed up, it's just...
No, I don't mean
assembled.
That. Mixed up.
Assembled. Looks nice, the American corned beef hash.
It does look nice, yeah. And we do a version here, it's a very dry one, isn't it?
Yeah.
But this is the wet version.
And when done properly, this is absolutely delicious.
Yeah. And the corned beef we have here is not like the American corned beef, because that's very much... retains its meaty texture, doesn't it?
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah. I've never had the American style corned beef, but we just have the tins here, which is very, very different. We're aware of that. But do let us know what the American corned beef is like.
Do.
Yeah, this is the tin stuff. I think it's from like Argentina or somewhere like that. But anyway, let's see what Kay's going to pick up today.
Hi people, and I'm back cooking again, and today I'm going to be making a corned beef hash.
Well, she's much chirpier in this one.
I was going to say, she's as bright as a button today, isn't she?
And in the classic Iron Maiden t-shirts. But this was from over a year ago, well over a year ago. And I do believe that Lee was in this video, Lee's her son. He's no longer in her videos. So I don't know what's happened betwixt and between, because when you look at her now, she's very different. I mean, she looked very down in that last video, didn't she? But anyway, she's back, she's chirpy. It's all good.
Yeah.
Right, I am going to cut the corned beef into, well, first of all, I'm going to get a smaller knife and get all that off. And if you want to know what I've took off, whatever it is, it's fat. I know I've left some on.
Oh, you don't want to be taking the fat off. Me, straight out of the tin, straight on a board, chop it up, chuck it in. Don't scrape the fat off. Loads of flavour comes from fat. Think of meat. Much of the flavour comes from fat in meat.
Mind you, the corned beef we buy isn't quite as encased in fat as that, is it?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Well, you don't make it, do you?
But I still open corned beef. I use corned beef.
Yeah, but it is like that. This is how it is.
She's got beautiful knife skills, hasn't she?
It's not something you'd eat. I wouldn't eat it like raw.
No.
But when you're cooking it, all that fat disappears into the juices and just adds to the flavour.
Yeah.
But I've been told to cut this in chunks. Well, that went horribly wrong. You can see I've cut it in slices.
Well, first off, she's had that tin in the fridge, and that's why this corned beef is absolutely solid. I use mine straight out of the cupboard because it's soft, it's easy to cut up. You'd only do this if you were going to slice it and put it on a sandwich or something. But also, why would you try and cut a whole chunk like that on a plate? She's got boards. Put it on a board. You've got a great big knife and you try to chop on a plate that's got raised edges. It's not going to work, is it?
She's got no knife skills at all, has she, poor Kay?
She's not got very many skills, really, has she? Certainly not in the kitchen.
Not in the kitchen, no. God love her.
I'm going to cut this with a smaller knife, but I will show you when I've cut it up into chunks. As you can see, I've cut them into chunks. I don't know if you can see that. That's a chunk. Well, obviously you know what a chunk is. And it does say on the paper to put one in, but now that I'm back friends with corned beef, I'm going to put 2 in. As you can see, I've got the 2 tins of corned beef.
Well, this is certainly unusual methodology.
Yeah, I was completely lost there when she said, this is a chunk, and then I'm going to put 2 in. I thought she was going to put 2 chunks in, but she's putting 2 tins in.
Yeah.
But have we any idea what she's put it into, Karen?
Well,
apart from a saucepan.
Water, by the looks of things.
Oh, so we don't know. So there's 2 tins of corned beef gone into a saucepan with an unknown fluid in it.
Yeah, that's a bit like dishwater.
Now, I know you know how to make corned beef hash, but if somebody had no idea what it was, they'd be very lost by now, wouldn't they?
Yeah. Yeah.
Very lost.
Yeah. I'm going to just tell you my method. Dead simple. And with any kind of stews, you should always start with a base. So my base is always onions, carrots, potatoes in stock. I would use 2 stock cubes, bung in the onions raw, bung in the carrots raw, boil those for a little while and then add the potatoes because they take a little less time. Then you chunk up the corned beef, chuck that in, let that all soften. When everything's cooked, depending on how liquidy it is, if it's too liquid, I add some gravy granules to thicken it a little. If it's not, I don't. So this, how she started, there's no base to it. So there's no other flavour getting into it other than just corned beef.
There is some liquid in that saucepan though, Karen.
But it's not coloured.
I know.
So it just looks like water to me.
And if you're wondering why it took so long, I lost the key for the corned beef. So, then it says a little bit of parsley and a few chives. Then it said add a tin of peas. Oh. It's a pull ring, so it's very good. And it says don't drain them, it says just pour the peas in. Now if you're looking and thinking they don't look like mush or whatever, they are marrow fat, my favourite.
You cannot beat a good marrow fat pea, Karen, as you know.
Yeah.
I like a good marrow fat. But there's a time and a place for them, and the time and the place is not on what looks like a pile of dog food.
Yeah.
And all the water. This isn't corned beef hash, is it, though?
I don't know what. This is more like a corned beef stew, perhaps. I don't know what it is at this point.
Is it going to get worse, Karen?
I've no idea. I haven't seen it. I've no idea. However, my question is, did those marrow fat peas come out of salted water?
Usually, yeah.
Because she's added all that salty water to corned beef. No. Let me tell you, I add no salt to corned beef hash. I use stock cubes and I use the corned beef, and that's enough salt in it. You don't need any extra salt. I do add a bit of freshly ground pepper, but you don't need salt, do you?
No.
So already this is going to be
horrific.
It's like corned beef and peas in brine at this stage.
And then it says add some tomatoes.
No.
Brother,
you.
No, why?
And it says, what is it? A demon whispering in her ear?
I don't know. Somebody's took the absolute piss here.
No, somebody's having a laugh now.
They've got to be trolling her.
No, they've got to be.
This is no way a recipe for...
You should put your tinfoil hat on, Kay, because...
It's making me shudder.
It struck me dumb. This is Karen's signature dish. This must be destroying your soul.
This is my idea of hell in a pan.
Empty, yeah? And then it says to give it a good old stir. I don't think I need a metal spoon. I'm going to get a wooden one. Right, I'm going to mix it all in. It says you need to give it at least 20 minutes for the potatoes to get...
Am I tripping here? Did she just say potatoes?
Yeah, you should have heard Karen. When she stirred it, Karen sat back aghast and said, "Was those big white chunks?"
She never mentioned potatoes.
She didn't.
Where have they come from,
I've
Kay?
no idea.
She slipped them in.
Look, to me it now looks like a primordial swamp.
It looks like vomit. Do you know what I think happened was she boiled the potatoes and then she chucked the corned beef into that water. So that's why it was like murky looking stuff she'd flung the corned beef into.
But has she cooked the potatoes? Because she says you've got to let the potatoes cook now for 20 minutes, which for those chunks, you don't think it was all cold, Karen.
No, I think she's brought the potatoes to boiling point, but then she's dumped in all the fridge cold corned beef, which instantly cooled the water.
Yeah.
She's putting everything else into tepid water.
And
There's no cooking again. Look at the pan, is stone cold again.
And what's going to happen to those beautiful marifat peas after 20 minutes of boiling?
Oh.
We could have a sort of a...
mushy pea.
It's going to be a grave that resembles puss. Anyway, give her a chance now. Come on. She's a lovely woman, heart of gold.
Done. Now, I part boiled them. I cheated and part boiled them. And it says in the... So add a little touch of water. I think I put far too much here. Add a little touch of water.
Ruth just nearly swallowed the couch.
It was like watching a bloody car crash in slow motion. Let's just bung some cold tap water in.
Yeah?
What?
I've already put too much liquid in, but let's just add some more. So that all these random bits are floating about. Ugh. That's disgusting.
I'll never get over the tomatoes in there. This is not the place for a tomato of any shape or form.
No, or marifat peas. What's that about?
I don't know, Karen. I don't know.
She's not making stew. She's making corned beef hash.
She's making a primordial soup.
Oh. You know, you've done dry corned beef hash, haven't you?
I've done dry corned beef.
Right, what do you use in it?
Potatoes, onions. Potatoes, onions.
Corned beef, obviously.
Obviously, corned beef and I think that was it,
Yeah.
actually.
It's very simple.
Yeah.
Corned beef hash is a very simple dish.
Cubes of potatoes, fried in onions, and then cubes of corned beef.
Yeah.
That's a dry, lovely with a bit of brown sauce.
Yeah. And the only difference in the wet version is that you add carrots and you add more liquid. So all this extra gumph that she's putting in, I don't know where that's come from. It's beyond me.
Beyond me.
And add some gravy granules. Ooh.
I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen to them gravy granules. They're going to turn into gelatinous blobs. Because the liquid is not boiling. If you're going to add gravy granules, the liquid's got to be boiling. Otherwise, they don't dissolve. They cling together. They form gelatinous blobs.
Bit like a meatball.
Yeah, but gelatinous. And they just float about in your liquid. Oh.
But even if they did dissolve, because she sat them on the top. She sat them on the top. What they do? Stir them in to boiling water and they'll thicken. But once all your potatoes have dissolved and your marrow fat peas have dissolved, you probably wouldn't need to thicken this. But anyway, we'll chuck in half a kilo of gravy granules.
You see, when I say add gravy granules, I lightly sprinkle the top of the boiling pan, stir it in, and I add it by degrees until it reaches the required thickness.
Half a teaspoon at a time.
Look at, oh dear.
I think that might be enough to make that into a bit of thicker juice. If you don't want to add any gravy granules or you want to add more, then it's your choice. Well, it's your choice. Now I'm going to leave a few of the potatoes on the top so I can feel when they're soft.
Well, good luck with that, because the next time you look at it, they'll probably mash and float to the bottom.
I don't understand the theory behind I'll pull a potato to the top to feel if it's soft. What about cook them to they're tender and then pull one out on a spoon, floating up?
That's what I do. I pull one up on a spoon, put a fork in it. If the fork goes in easily, they're cooked.
I must also stress here that this is nothing like Karen's corned beef hash. If this was anything like Karen's corned beef hash, we'd be having words, wouldn't we?
Well, the dog would become very fat.
The dog would not eat that, Karen.
No, I wouldn't eat that.
The dog would not eat that.
Nobody eats that. Ugh. That's like something you find on top of a stagnant pond.
And the waste, 2 tins of corned beef.
I know, and it's pricey.
It's very pricey now.
£2 a tin.
You don't fling about corned beef willy-nilly these days.
You don't, no.
Same with Spam.
Well, yeah. All
Shocking.
that tin stuff's really gone up.
Shocking.
As you can see, it's bubbling. Let's turn that off. That's it. I haven't tasted anything. I've tested the spuds and they're done. So I'm going to get a bit of everything.
Those potatoes don't even look done.
Have you noticed the scum?
Yeah.
What's that scum slick?
Yeah. You do occasionally get some kind of like froth like that on the top, but at this stage of the game, it should have disappeared. You know, by the time you finish cooking, it shouldn't be there.
No.
I don't know where that comes from, because I thoroughly wash all the veg that I chop.
Yeah.
So it's not from that. Whether it comes from the corned beef, I don't know.
You don't think... Oh.
But these potatoes are too huge.
Yeah.
You don't eat potatoes that size. I cut a potato into 16 cubes.
Yeah.
However big it is, it's always cut into 16.
Bite size.
Yeah, she's cut them into like 4. She's cut a potato into 4 there. It's like, no, they don't look cooked.
Get off. Get off. Then I'm going to add some gravy to it. There we are.
Why does she serve liquidy foods like it's meat and two veg? You don't serve a stew like that, do you?
No. Ladle.
You get a ladle, you dip your ladle in, you stir everything around, and then from the bottom you pull up a big chunky ladle full.
Yeah.
And then you might dip your ladle in to get just juice.
Yeah.
But-
Mind you, I really, it would be a no from me. She can do what she likes with it. I wouldn't be touching it.
No.
And that looks, Karen, that looks like something off a terrible horror movie, doesn't it?
Yeah, because you see why? It's got that gelatinous quality to it. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like it's got jelly in it. It's like something served in jelly.
Slimy.
Looks
slimy.
It does look slimy.
And I see a pea survived anyway. So she must have pulled it for what, 3 minutes?
And that is the end product of corned beef hash. Here is the taste test.
And here's the taste test. Corned beef hits you straight away.
Yeah, because I put two cans in.
I think you probably put a bit too much corned beef in.
Alright,
Tastes nice and soft.
good.
A bit of tomato, peas. Alright, perfect.
Good.
Thumbs up.
So, you say Lee doesn't star in the videos anymore, Karen?
Apparently not.
Has there any proof of life recently?
I think he's got his own channel.
Has he?
Yeah.
He's a good son.
He's a very good son.
He's a very, very, very good son.
Yeah, but I really feel he needs to come to our house
And,
for a real corned beef hash.
oh, he'd never leave.
Also, we serve corned beef hash with crusty buttered baguettes. It's the
Fresh.
only way
Yeah.
to dip in your juice, and it's absolutely delish.
And it's nothing like that.
No, nothing like that.
Okay, again, she's in a good mood today. She's got a nice little dimple going on.
Yeah,
Lee's a good son.
yeah,
That's the best I can do for that, Karen.
yeah. She turned up.
She turned,
She turned up and she made a video.
She turned up and she made a video. She's more than other people do who don't turn up and don't make videos.
Exactly. But,
Oh,
well, not my idea of a great time,
it
but
was terrible.
Lee enjoyed it, so there's
God
lovely. And how
lovely.
can you have too much corned beef? Really? The thing is, though, you've got to have equal quantities.
Oh, the quantities.
Corned beef, carrots, potatoes. You've got to have equal quantities.
Plenty of carrots.
Plenty of carrots, yeah. Slightly more carrots here because
Actually,
Ruth loves carrots.
next time you do a corned beef hash, we'll take a photo of it
Yeah.
and show these good people what a proper good corned beef hash looks like.
Done. Right.
High five.
Goodo. Well, that being said, we're off to not make Kay's corned beef hash.
It's put me off corned beef hash a little bit for a little while.
I don't think I'll eat it for a bit after
Not for a
watching
bit.
that.
Oh,
No.
okay.
I tell you what, she's probably good if you're trying to shed a few pounds.
Oh,
It's like aversion therapy, isn't it, to
she
calories?
could open a clinic, couldn't she? Moving with Kay. Yeah. Christ. God love her. God love her.
Anyway, that's it from us.
Yeah.
We're going to go and do bugger all somewhere else.
She's lying. She's got loads of jobs to do, and I'm in a supervisory capacity.
On the couch.
On the couch. Talk to you soon. Thank you so much for joining us.
Yep. We shall see you very soon.
Bye.